Hey everybody, it's Jamie from No Getting Off This Train, and today I am answering the question that many people have asked me. Are discount grocery outlets worth the price and the drive? Almost every week when I do my grocery hauls, I show you a segment from my favorite discount grocery store called Mr. Max. This is a small store here in Ohio, and there's been a lot of times where people have commented and said, I wish I had one of those in my area. I've had a couple people even say, hey, I live like an hour away. Do you think it'd be worth it for me to come up there and buy stuff? So I decided to go into this store and take a video of the entire store and tell you all of my thoughts. But before I get there, I need to answer a few questions that people have asked me. First of all, what is a grocery outlet? You might have seen stores like Ollie's, Bargain Outlet, or maybe a couple other chain stores in your area. And an outlet store is just like a store that brings in like old products from other stores, either items that just don't sell very well or items that are almost at or maybe even a little past their expiration date. Usually they're locally owned, but like I said, there are some stores like Ollie's that are kind of like all around the United States. And some stores only sell like one particular kind of item. So like bread stores, for example, they sell bread items, obviously, but grocery outlet stores sell a huge variety of just different foods, whether it is shelf stable, frozen, or refrigerated. Another question that I have seen is expired food still safe to eat? And do your own research. Obviously, I'm not a health expert, so I can't tell you like the specifics or the scientific reasons behind it, but I do know that for a lot of foods, like shelf-stable foods, the things that are in cans or boxes or things like that that have never been opened, once they hit their best buy date, they are still good to eat for at least another few months after that. The date doesn't always mean that it's going to stay safe up until that point. It just means it is freshest up until that date. So you can still eat it for another couple of months afterward and it won't be a problem. Like I have eaten snack bars that are 6 or 7 months past their expiration date and I've had no problems. I do know that frozen foods, even after like a year past their date, are still really good. I've bought foods before that are actually a year past their date, have had no problems with them. The only thing that I've seen is that sometimes these items will have a little bit of freezer burn, but other than that, they're perfectly safe to eat. Another question that I've seen, and I've actually had this thought myself, is isn't this all like just junk food? And yes, there are a lot of different junk food items. There's a lot of candy, lots of baked goods and cookies and things like that. But some stores, like mine, which I'll show you here in a minute, have all sorts of healthier options, like organic foods. Their frozen section could have like frozen fruit, frozen vegetables, even like grass-fed meats and things like that. So don't discount the discount outlet stores just because you think they might have unhealthy foods, because you will be surprised. And now to answer the last couple of questions, I'm actually going to take you through my favorite store. Those two questions are the prices actually cheaper, and is it worth my time to go and buy food from there? So let me tell you about my absolute favorite discount store, Mr. Max. Now, this is not sponsored in any way. They're not paying me for this. In fact, they graciously let me go through the entire store and record everything, so I'm super thankful for that. But I'm just a huge fan. I go up there at least once a week or every 2 weeks and stock up on some things that I need. And this is all strictly my opinion. So Mr. Max is a fairly new outlet store that's located in New Carlisle, Ohio. They're open 6 days a week, usually from 10 to about 7, and everybody there is super nice. All the employees, the owners, I just love standing there and talking to them while I'm there. They're super, super friendly. So let me take you inside the store. I'm going to take you through my exact route that I go through every single time I go in. So the first aisle that I go down is the soups and the canned goods. And they carry just about everything. All the canned vegetables, they carry canned soups. They also have different store brand items. I've seen Aldi brand, I've seen the Target brand items. So it's not just the name brands. They get food from all sorts of stores. I don't typically buy a whole lot from this particular section. I tend to go more toward the frozen side of things, but these are still a really good option. Next up, I pass all of the gum and then the nuts, all the peanuts, the almonds, the cashews. They sell all sorts of different types, like the Planters brand. They have like all the trail mixes and all the flavored nuts and things like that, chocolate covered, and like all the sweet and the spicy kinds. My gosh, I could go crazy because I love cashews. Allison is a huge fan of cashews now. And I bought some of the nuts from here before and they are super good. And then over here you see the Epic bars. Now these are some of my favorite snack bars to buy because at the store they are typically like $2. And right here, as you can see, they are 75 and even 80 cents. The price is a little bit different. It really just depends on what they buy it for. But they also try to give it to us at a super low price as well. So yeah, there's like a 5-cent difference there, but different flavors as well. I also passed the peanut butter and jelly end cap. They have all sorts of different kinds of peanut butter, even like the little RX packets of the flavored peanut butters, the Justin's packets. I usually buy my peanut butter elsewhere because I prefer mine with no added sugar, and a lot of the ones here do have the added sugar, but they're still good options. And now let me take you through my absolute favorite aisle, the snack bars and the breakfast. This is like the one place I make a beeline to every time I go because there are just so many types of snack bars. There are like the individual bars, you can buy them by the box. They sell my favorite RX bars, which like I said, with just like the Epic bars, they're $2 at the store, but 75 cents here. I stock up when I can. They also have some of Allison's favorite Annie's protein bars for really cheap. This store advertises like 50% off grocery store prices, and that is fairly accurate. My most favorite section in this aisle has to be the Lar bars. Lar bars are one of my favorite bars just because they are made from whole foods and very limited sugar. So the peanut butter cookie ones are my favorite because they are like 3 ingredients. There's peanuts, dates, and salt, and that's it. They have fruit flavored ones, and each one has maybe like less than 4 grams of added sugar for the ones with like chocolate chips and stuff in it. But I try to buy a box every time I go. I give them to John for his snacks. I try to have a couple for myself for just times when I have to be on the run. Lar bars are a great option. Right across the aisle is the breakfast section. They have all sorts of breakfast foods. They have those little oatmeal cups, which I sometimes buy on occasion if I want like a special treat. They are a little bit higher in sugar, but they are lower in price than at the regular grocery stores. They also have the Bob's Red Mill, which I know is kind of a more expensive brand at the regular grocery stores, but here it seems to be a really good price. They also have pancake mix and maple syrup, which holy cow, have you seen the price of maple syrup recently? So that's a really good deal. They also sell cereal, which is Allison's favorite section, to be honest with you. I try to get her a box every so often, and the prices here tend to vary. Sometimes you can get them cheaper than at the regular store. Sometimes they're just a little bit higher, but some of the seasonal items like the pumpkin Cheerios, I try to pick up a couple of those when I see them here at Mr. Max. The next section is all the dried goods. So all of your pasta, your rice, your dried beans, things like that. They also have a bunch of like pre-packaged meal kits and things. They have the Kraft macaroni and cheese. They have pre-cooked rice. This one right here, the Roland Express brand, is a really good brand. I bought this one maybe once or twice just as a quick side for my meals, and they're made with whole foods and super delicious and super cheap. On the other side, you have a lot of like the ethnic foods, so a lot of like taco kits. They have hot sauces, all sorts of like imported Mexican foods. They also have a lot of the Asian style foods as well, so coconut milk, and all the sauces that go with it as well. Back against the back wall, we have Condiments. Holy cow! They have all sorts of barbecue sauces and ketchups and all those weird like the mayo chup and like the ketchup and mustard mixed together and the mayo and mustard. Like, what is that even? They also have huge tubs of dressing in case you want like a gigantic gallon-sized thing of Caesar dressing. But if the big ones are too much for you, they also have all sorts of regular-sized salad dressings as well. The next section is one of Allison's favorites, which is the chips and the crackers. They have big bags, they have smaller bags, like if you want to stick some in a lunchbox or something. I like to grab those when we're going out on outings and I pack a lunch. Perfect for dropping in the lunchbox. I came across these Pirate's Booty fruit sticks, and Allison is obsessed with them. They have a serving of fruit and vegetables in each serving, so I feel pretty good about giving her those. Over by the crackers, they have the Lance sandwich crackers, which are some of Allison's favorites. As you can see, they also have Annie's Bunnies, which, holy cow, an organic brand and super, super cheap. And then they have all like your standard pretzels and all sorts of different flavors. They also have popcorn like the Boom Chicka Pop. They have like the limited edition kind sometimes, like the cinnamon roll and the peppermint mocha, things like that. They also have some of the Skinny Pop. It's a huge bag of the 6 smaller bags for $1.25, so I try to make sure I get at least one to have at home. Then next up we have the baking aisle and some of the candy. I don't go down this aisle too often because I usually have like flour and stuff at home already, and I don't buy a whole lot of the box mixes, but these are really cheap and will work in a pinch. I know they have chocolate chips and cake mixes and cookie mixes, basically anything that you could ever need, as well as like some of the holiday items as well. My store also has a lot of freezers and refrigerators. So this first freezer has tons of ice cream, any sort of flavor you can imagine. They also sometimes have Halo Top for like $2 or less, so when I see that, I try to buy a couple of them. Over in the refrigerators over here, they have like cans of soda, bottles of soda. They also have things like muffins. They have the gluten-free muffins right here. Also just random cookies, cookie dough bites. They also sometimes have local eggs from our area. They'll have like cheese and yogurts. They also have meat. I saw some Nathan's hot dogs down there. I don't buy a whole lot from the refrigerated section. Sometimes I do, but I don't typically buy dairy that is close to its expiration date because I usually wait a few days before eating it. So I don't know, I'm sure it's still good, but I just personally don't buy it. Right across from those refrigerators are like a ton of bulk foods. So other salad dressings, condiments, coffee, things like that. One time we saw a huge bag of the Velveeta like cheese sauce, and John was like, "We need to get it," and I was like, "No!" And then across from that is their clearance section. Now, yes, this store actually has a clearance section, but this is reserved for items that are right at about a year past their best buy date. So all sales are final in this area. You can't take it back if you don't like the product. And these prices are just, I think they're like half off of what they priced them at to begin with. So if you don't mind them being a year past their best buy date, that is a super good deal, especially if you plan on eating it like right away. And then right next to that is protein powder and protein shakes. If you're big into that but don't like paying full price for all that stuff, this is a really good deal. On my way toward the freezers, I walk past the organic section, and they have a whole shelf, a whole aisle full of different organic foods, whether it's like the soups, rice, any snacks, things like that. I know if you're a huge organic person but don't like paying the high prices, this is an excellent section to be in. I bought quite a few things from here before, and they're all really good. Here's a couple of the freezers that they have. This freezer usually has different meats in it. So chicken, like the flavored chicken, marinated chicken. They'll have chicken sausages in here sometimes. They have a few gluten-free items. They'll have some frozen fruit in this section. I saw a bulk bag of macaroni and cheese. There's usually like breakfast items like the Vans waffles and the pancakes. There are like cheese, shredded cheese, things like that. They also have a lot of seafood, lots of fish and shrimp and things. And then down at the very bottom, they have a huge box of cinnamon rolls. So these are all like limited things. Sometimes they'll be here, and then when you come back next week, they'll be gone. So you need to get it while you can. The next aisle I'm going down is the sweet and salty snacks. I sometimes come down here to buy a couple things for Allison, like the little bags of crackers or things like that. Her favorite food in this aisle is the little bags of the Ritz mini miniature sandwich crackers. Sometimes they have cheese, sometimes they have peanut butter. She likes them both. Here at the end cap, sometimes they will have like a bunch of items they buy and mark down to a really low price, Tortillas is one of them right now, and these were on sale for 60 cents. One of the last times I was here, I stocked up on like 4 or 5 packages. They freeze very well. I used to work at McDonald's, and that's how the tortillas came at McDonald's, was frozen. So you can freeze a bunch of these and then get them out when you're ready to make tacos or burritos. Next, I am going down the coffee and tea aisle. They have all sorts of different kinds of coffee, the bagged coffee, K-Cups. They have Starbucks brand, the Mitt Cafe, Dunkin' Donuts, all sorts of other brands. They also have the bulk bags of cappuccino mixes, which I've bought before, and they are super good. It's just the kind where you like take a scoop of it and you pour it in hot water and mix it up. Like McDonald's used to have those kind of cappuccinos, and it's basically the same thing. They also have a large variety of tea and coffee creamer as well. And then across from the coffee section are the cookies. All sorts of different kinds of cookies. I could go crazy in there. I really enjoy the little bags of the miniature Oreos. Allison loves those as well. So, and they're only like, I think 25 cents. So I try to get her a few bags of those every so often too. And next up are my favorite freezers. They have all sorts of things in these freezers. There are like bulk pastas, there's bacon, there's huge tortillas. They have a good variety of the microwavable meals. Some of them are healthier, some of them are not, but you know, like I said, healthy-ish. They also have chicken nuggets. I once found whole grain dino nuggets here, which was an excellent price. They have all sorts of different meats. They have bulk soups. They have tons of pizza. They have different types of sausages like sausage links, sausage patties, ground sausage. They have deli meat at times too. You may have seen the Members Mark deli ham that's from Sam's Club. I bought one of those one time. Super good. They also sell Idell's chicken sausages for a super low price. They retail for like $5.50 at the store, and I can get them for $2 or $2.25 here. Super good deal. I also buy a lot of their frozen vegetables. They'll have the smaller bags. They will also have like some of the bigger bulk bags, like 2 or 3 pounds. They're all really good. And sometimes they also have grass-fed meat. So if you are huge into the grass-fed, they sell them at a lower price here too. Coming back toward the front of the store, they have a gluten-free section for all of you gluten-free people. They have, sometimes they have like almond flour. I think I saw that one time. I bought that. All sorts of different crackers and snacks and just all sorts of other dinner items in there too. And then one of my other favorite sections, I've only used it once, but I need to go back, is their bulk candy section. So they have a few little buckets full of just individually packaged candy. So what you do is fill up a quart-sized bag with as much as you want, as long as the thing zips, and I think it's like $3 for a bag. So we had a lot of fun the one time we did it, just picking out all the different kinds of candy. So good. All right, so I took you through the entire store. Now let me answer the question. Is this store worth going to? And my answer is most definitely. And it also depends on how far away you live. I mean, if you plan on dropping a couple $100s here, then yes, I would say feel free to drive an hour or more to come here, buy all that stuff, take a few coolers with you, fill it with ice, and, you know, load up your freezer section. I honestly believe that the freezer section is the way to go because they have all the meats and all the vegetables and stuff. I mean, they have a lot of really good shelf-stable items too, like those snack bars, but honestly, those freezers are the way to go. The freezers and even the refrigerated section as well. So yes, if you plan on spending a few $100s and you live like an hour or so away, yes, come on over and buy as much as you want. I only live like 15 minutes away, so it's really no big deal for me to drive up there and spend maybe like $10 or $15 and then just come back home. Like, that's no big deal. One of these days, I will save up enough money to just go on a huge spending spree there. So like I said, this is my local grocery outlet store. This is Mr. Max in New Carlisle, Ohio. If you don't know if you have any grocery outlets in your area, just do a quick Google search. I'm sure something something will come up. If you have any local Facebook groups that you're a part of, try asking them. But honestly, I think that in general, grocery outlet stores are totally worth the time and money. I save so much money on the snack bars and all of my meats and stuff by going to this store. So don't be scared of the slightly past the Best By dates. Trust me, it's going to be fine. Leave me a comment and let me know, do you guys have any discount grocery stores in your area? Tell me about them. Let us know like some of your favorite finds there, and if it looks pretty similar to Mr. Max. I am also thinking about doing a week-long grocery challenge for the store. I don't know how much money I'm going to give myself, like $50 or $75, but I want to see if I can feed us, the three of us, on that amount of money and still buy really healthy food as well. So that might be sometime like in December. So if you want to see that video, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can be notified when that video comes out. Just make sure you ring the bell because it'll give you notification. Thank you to Mr. Max for letting me come to your store and record this. I had a lot of fun going in and learning about all the new things that are available. If you all have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and ask me. I am happy to answer any questions. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later.